All right, let's start this. I've got huge XCN and XRP news, and yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy. Seriously? Man, that was loud. You know, there's times in the crypto market where things are just down and out, or they're just trending, just trailing along, and you're like, oh my gosh, do something. Come on, I thought crypto was supposed to go up all the time. It doesn't. Last night, I made a post on X, and I'd sold a position. It was a 100-day, give or take a few days, swing trade that I did on Omni. I made 40%, and I put out this post on X. I'll put a link to my X account if you want it down below. And I'm like, hey, I made 40% in 100 days, give or take a couple. Was that a good or bad trade, right? Because I want to be transparent. And people are like, no, that's great. Like, that's killer. It's like what, 12% a month, something like that. And no joke, six hours later, Omni's up an additional 30%, right? And they came out with some good, or there's a rumor, let's say. And I'm like, dang, that extra 30% could have bought a Lamborghini. No joke. But it's like, that's okay. You got to be happy. You got to not FOMO out, FOMO in, all this kind of stuff. You got to control your emotions, right? I'm happy with 40% in 100 days. I'd love 40% in a month, and I've done that, and a lot of you have. But I've got XCN news. I got XRP news. And the other day, about a week ago, I made a video. I said, I believe that XCN is an excellent entry point, right? And you guys know I sold half of my XRP, and I bought XCN. And right now, XCN is my number one largest position. XRP comes in at a close second. I believe you've seen altcoin season may just about to be starting. You haven't seen anything yet until Ethereum hits an all-time high, but it's starting to move and it's getting exciting. So check this out. We'll start with XCN. And if you want to learn more about how to buy XCN and XRP safely and do all of this legit, I'm going to put a link to the Bitcoin XRP 101 course. It's going to teach you everything about how to move crypto, how to buy it, how to store it, all that stuff. Links down below, and an exchange that lists both of these that are great. Everyone I know has got these. This exchange has XCN and XRP down below. Okay, it's an American exchange. So the first one I want to talk about is Onyx gas-free wallet provider. Now, why is this important? When you're part of a DAO or decentralized organization, and you are a decentralized blockchain or cryptocurrency, whenever you're needing to vote and record something on the blockchain, there's gas fees along with that, right? And what's impressive, because the Onyx team is building the Goliath network, a mainnet network. They're going to be transitioning from Base and Ethereum to their own network. And this is very exciting, right? This is one of those moments in the evolution of a blockchain where you go from raising money and building the hype to now taking that money that you raised and coding and building an actual network, right? And from the Goliath white paper, it sounds like they got some very serious, incredible things planned, right? Now, there's been a lot of research done into the origins of how XCN was created, funded by companies like Citigroup and a lot of financial institutions. It was part of the Stellar network, and there's a lot going on. And one of the things I've been most impressive with is the company Chain, who originally created XCN, right? Chain is a blockchain company that's been around for a long time. They're a pretty recognizable company, and their team is out there. People know who their team is, and this is what impresses me about XCN. They just voted on a proposal, and it passed with 100% yes vote. This proposal seeks community approval for Chain, the company, to host the infrastructure supporting the upcoming Onyx gas-free smart wallet. The Onyx gas-free wallet is a key milestone in improving user experience and enabling gasless interactions that lower the barrier to entry for new users. Real quick, I forgot to ask, how many of you own XRP? Type it down below. How many of you have XCN? And if you own both, do me a favor and type both. As I'm reading this, I want to look. I'm curious who's watched this video, because I've got stories about both of these companies. Now, it says this setup aligns with Onyx development objectives around Sweet. A lot of you guys have both. This setup aligns with Onyx's development objectives around scalability, accessibility, and performance. A successful vote will authorize core contributors and infrastructure teams to move forward with the deployment. And it was, look at this, 100% for it. These are people that own XCN. This is huge, okay? Now, when I started investing in Ripple, I'm sorry, not Ripple, that's what everyone called it when I was doing it, because I've been doing it for so long. XRP, it was 2 cents. I actually tried buying it at half a penny the day before. I can't even imagine if I would have bought it at half a cent, my net worth would be. Anyway, whatever. And that's the thing too. I got to say, how many of you type 1 if you wish you would have bought either of these 2 cryptos earlier, sooner, right? Or deployed more money into it. Type 1 if that's you. That's me, right? You've heard the story. I had a note to myself, buy Ethereum at $1. I didn't buy it till it's $50, right? And even myself, I'm really into blockchain. One of my companies that I'm a part of, I'm going to be helping launch the blockchain tech for that company here shortly. And I'm very excited about it, right? This is way more than beta testing for Theta and all this stuff. And it looks like I'm going to be having to fly around the world to help with the launch. And it's exciting because big people are buying it already. Saudi Arabia, people from Saudi, I can't say too much, but my point being is that it's exciting, right? And it's because I'm there now because I learned all these lessons a long time ago. It's like, you know what? This is an evolving technology. This is emerging new tech. This is amazing. It's a truth machine because of the blockchain component to all these companies that are adding this. I got to be a part of it. And so I've dove in. And so what I'm going to tell you now about XRP, and this is what sort of is a bummer about XRP, because I'm a huge XRP bull, right? But a lot of people got super frustrated and angry with me, not my subscribers, but just random weirdos on the internet, because I sold half of my XRP. Now, take aside how much it was, right? Because I see people that I call maxis. There's Bitcoin maxis, XRP maxis. There's maxis everywhere. You know what I like to do? I like to make money. I care less about being because maximalists have blinders on. They don't want to see anything else. I have friends in YouTube, in YouTube land, that are, financial advisors, and they're like maximalists, and they've made like 1/10 of the money that myself or the DeFi group has made because they're not willing to pivot and go from one crypto to another. I own Bitcoin, I own XRP, I own all, and I've got my different bags, and I move in and out of them because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is making money, because that's giving you financial freedom. So this story might sound small, but it's big, and I'm going to explain why. I hate these titles. XRP hits a 45-day high with guppy momentum indicator pointing to more gains ahead. Now, just so you know, this story is a couple days old, right? Check this out. This is why I wanted to bring it up. XRP hits its highest since May of 23 as key momentum indicator flashes green signal. It says, XRP's price rose to a high of $2.83 during the early U.S. hours Wednesday, hitting levels last seen on May 23rd. Now, you guys know, I'll talk about the guppy thing real quick. The move happened as the guppy multiple, it's like, who names this crap? Moving average indicator flashed a bullish signal. The ribbon indicator comprises 6 short-term exponential moving averages with periods ranging from 3 to 15 days. Now, you guys know that I've taught courses in the past. I've co-authored courses, and I've taught courses myself on trading and investing in crypto. And I'm a crypto trader, and I have a trading account, and I have a long-term hold account, really due to taxes. Off in the metaverse, right? Cold storage, it's all over there. But then I've got this trading account. And as I build it up and I take these big wins, I pull money out and I put it aside, right? And pretty soon, and I made a call on X, I don't know, 8 months ago, that when silver is $35, I believe that Bitcoin will be 150,000. And then I'm about to make a move that honestly I believe is going to completely move the silver market. And I believe we're going to see that. I believe we're going to see silver come off its highs a little bit. I think we're going to see Bitcoin move up. Bitcoin right now, what did it hit 120,000 the other day? I think it did. I could be wrong. But my point being is I don't watch those every second things, right? I do more of a swing trading, unless I see some news that's about to come out and I got wind of it first and I, make a position before it takes off, right? So this right here, when I sold the XRP, and I'm super bullish on XRP, don't get me wrong, but I knew when I sold the XRP at what, 206, and I waited till it went up to 220 to make the announcement because I didn't want people tanking the price because the channel is so big. And that's not bragging. I'm just saying, there's so many amazing investors that are a part of this. And I've met some huge whales, like stupid. And I'm like, okay, got to be careful with this. So I let XRP price rise up to 220. Said, hey, I sold it at 206. So I'm not telling you guys to sell, but I see that it's not going to be doing a whole lot, and I'm going to be moving into XCN. And I moved into XCN. I sold XRP at 206, moved into XCN at 0.009 and 008. And XCN rose exponentially. It doubled in price, but then backed off. And I still was up, I don't know, 45% as XRP went down into the $1.70 range, right? And now the other day I said, hey, XRP is at a great entry point. And then I said at the same time, XCN's at a great entry point. I believe you're going to see, and I put out a post, and I'll bet you if you go to XCN today on CoinMarketCap and click on it and check it out, I'll bet you within the next, because last night I made this prediction, within the next, last night I said within the next 24 hours. So whatever you're watching this, within 24 hours of last night, like at 8 o'clock at night, you're going to see XCN trending in the top 10. The reason why is because of some interesting things that just happened in the chart with the death cross. And the last time it was above this range, let's just say I'm expecting some fireworks. I could be wrong. None of this is financial advice, right? But I've been accumulating XCN for some time because I personally believe that its market cap, as XRP rises, let's say 10%, you're going to see XCN move 15 or 20% because there are so many people. And check this out. Just watch this. And you answer too. Again, I asked it in the beginning of the video. We'll ask it one more time, but we'll do it a little different. Type 3 if you own XRP, type 4 if you own XCN, and type 5 if you have both. Now watch the comments flying in. And what you're going to find is that most people that own XRP own XCN. And because of one thing, first off, XCN is moving through a massive change going into its main net. XRP's already moved through that news cycle and done all those things a decade ago, right? XCN now is not only doing it now, it has a lot more investor money and hopium and excitement because cryptocurrency blockchain tech has evolved so much since then. Okay, so you've got a lot more people that own crypto and have a lot of money involved with the crypto than when Ripple was developing XRP back in 2015, 2016, 2017 when I got in. Okay, when I got in, it was harder to get it to move because there wasn't as much money to move it. The volume on the charts proved it, right? 2017, 2018 went through a massive bull run. That was an exciting time. 2 cents to, geez, I don't even remember what I sold it at the first round. I want to say I sold it at like 68 cents the first round. It went way past that in that bull market, and then it collapsed down, and I bought a bunch of it and sold my house under 18 cents. It was like I layered in under that low, and then it took off again, right? Well, I had an exponential amount of XRP. Well, when I moved into XCN, you guys remember I sold a massive amount. They talk about this XRP rich list. And, they say, hey, to be in the top 10%, can you guys remind me how much XRP you need? To be in the top 10% of holders of XRP, oh gosh, what was it? Like, you got to own like 10,000 XRP, which is like worth what, about $25,000 today? Well, there are some people that own like millions and millions and millions of XRP, right? And so it's because they move those swings. So you're about to see this live over the next few months with me and XCN. I was famous for, I bought Theta I don't know. It was well under 10 cents. It was like 6 cents. I sold it at like 96 cents. I thought I was doing pretty awesome. I announced it on my YouTube. It was like one of my first videos. I'm like, hey, and I'm moving into another crypto, which did triple in price. But 3 months later, lo and behold, a bunch of hype flown into Theta because they were in the process. And please understand this. They were in the process that XCN's going through right now. They were moving into their mainnet, right? So all this hype started building and people started pouring in money and buying up Theta. And it ran from like 96 cents to $15. That was an additional $6 million that I missed out on. All right. The amount of money that I sold, if I would have held it at 96 cents, it would have went to 15 bucks. It was an extra 6 million bucks. And I'm like, crap, that sucks. And a lot of people mock me for it. But, I still made it from 6 cents to 96 cents. As a matter of fact, my business partner never, at the time for our crypto company, never forgave me, even though I taught him everything he knows about crypto. He didn't think about and was grateful for the move from 6 cents to 96. He just lost it over what we could have had. And I'm like, well, no, it's okay. We've made it this much. We're just going to do this. Anyway, we broke up, never, we don't talk anymore because he's still lamenting over that. He can't get past that. He's not getting any richer, just, the only way he can get richer is by stealing money. But that's the truth. That's how some people think. And so like last night with the Omni trade, hey, I made 40%. I told my wife, hey, and then last night she's like, why are you up? I'm just type 10. If you've ever on a bull run, you're like watching your phone in the middle of the night, like you're watching your bank account go up and you can't sleep. You're like, I just made this much money. I just made that much money. And I'm like, Omni's up another 30% since I sold it. She's like, oh, go to bed. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, could have bought a Lambo in the last 5 hours. I'm not going to buy a Lambo. I will, but I don't need one. But the thing is, this is really happening. So you're going to see this with XCN and it's going to be freaking awesome. And if I'm wrong and it goes down, guess what? I've got cash on the side. I've got still, hold on. Let me do in my trading account. I've got 8.5 or 9% cash setting off to the side. So if XCN drops, I will buy more. And then, next 3 months, 4 months are going to tell. I think you're going to see XCN back to its former glory. I think you're going to see it hitting its all-time high again in this bull run. And that's just me, but I'm crazy. Type yes or no. Do you think the ninja's crazy? Or do you think the ninja is crazy like a fox? You can put fox down. It'll make me feel real foxy. With that being said, the economic... real last thing. I got to tell you. If you've never invested in cryptocurrency, I highly suggest you buy that course down below for $99. I'm not joking. I'm biased. I created it along with Dylan. It will save you time and money. It's stupid. It's stupid. Multiplication of saving you time and money down below. Bitcoin 101 and XRP 101 course. And then that exchange, if you want to buy XRP or XCN, there's a link down below. Hopefully you have a great day. Really? You just want to... You going to say anything as we leave? All right. See ya.